One of the big principles that I have when I work with clients is that I want your ongoing necessary self-care to prevent your problem from coming back to only be 5 to 10 minutes a day spread throughout your day. So in today's video, I want to explain how is that possible? How can you get to the point where you only need to do 5 to 10 minutes a day of self-care? And what does that look like? If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Catherine. I'm the founder and principal therapist of LSM Clinic, a sport and remedial massage therapy in London. In this channel, I share simple self-care tips and information about how your body works so that you can enjoy your favorite activities and live as close to pain-free as possible. So, self-care. Now, when I'm talking about self-care, to be really clear, I'm talking about the stretches and exercises that you do to help maintain not having pain in your body, right? So at the clinic, we mainly see like runners, cyclists, triathletes, and desk workers, office workers. And we see a lot of other people as well, like electricians and dancers and circus students. But when we're talking about fitting our self-care in, it's very often we're talking to people that they have busy, full lives. They have a demanding job. They have a lot of hobbies that they like to enjoy. They have kids. They have people that they're caring for. They have stuff to do. So it's just not reasonable to expect them to do 20 minutes of exercises in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, 30 minutes a day, 5 exercises every day, whatever it is. And a lot of times that's what you'll get when you go somewhere and ask for help. They're like, here are all the exercises that you need to do. Now, one of the reasons that you get that is because a lot of the studies that have been done are looking at exercise clusters as the best way to rehabilitate people. So they do a series of exercises and they find that this is the best way or that it's effective. So for example, the FIFA 11 Plus, which is an exercise series that's a warm-up for footballers that found to decrease the injuries in footballers by like 30 to 50% or something like that. Like it was really significant. So a lot of times when people are giving exercises, they're working with this, well, this is the series that we want you to do. But I take a different approach because number one, I'm very bad at doing my own self-care, which I am working on getting better, but also because I don't want to spend all my time stretching. I want to live my life. I want to do the stuff that I enjoy. And I believe, and I've seen this over and over again with clients, is that the more time it takes to do it, the quicker people stop doing it when they stop having pain. It's like some people will be really religious about their self-care until they stop feeling pain, and then they just stop finding time for it because the reward of doing the exercise is lower, right? Because they're not in pain, so doing the exercise doesn't get them out of pain. But for long-term success, you really need to be doing your self-care exercises regularly because otherwise it starts to build up slowly over time. And then you get to a point where you're in pain again. And often we're starting back over and we have to go back and undo all of the imbalances that have built up over that time. So how do you get to 5 to 10 minutes a day of self-care? Number one, you need to understand which exercise does which thing for you. So I use this a lot in context of people who work in front of a computer. So I'll use this as the example today, but it can apply to almost everything. So for example, if you have a pain on the top of your shoulder, one of the stretches that I give is the chest stretch. And it's the first stretch that I teach in my neck and shoulder pain course, No Pain at Work. You might find that when you do the chest stretch, it gets rid of the top of the shoulder pain, but it doesn't get rid of the discomfort at the base of the neck, for example. So then if you are only doing that one exercise for a few days, you can see what it does do and what it doesn't do. And that starts to build a vocabulary of, oh, when I have this problem, I do this exercise. So then if you have, let's say you have this, you know that the lying down neck stretch is the thing that helps you with that. So you do that when you have that pain. Versus if I gave you all 5 exercises to do, I mean, there's actually 10 in the course, but let's say I give you 5 exercises to do and you were doing them every day and you felt better, but you didn't know which exercise helped which thing. You basically have no choice, but every time that you have that problem, to do all of them. Whereas if you know this thing is good for this thing and this stretch is good for this stretch, you can always just do one thing for one problem. The other thing is to work to the center of the onion when it comes to your problem. Now, the onion analogy is another video I did, and I will link it in the description below if you'd like more details. But basically, almost all the time when you have a pain somewhere, that is not the cause of your pain. That's your body responding to an imbalance somewhere else. So going back to the top of the shoulder analogy, this is usually because your head is forward, because the front neck muscles are tight, because your chest is rounded. Like there's a few reasons that this is going to hurt, and it's not just this tension here. So if you have, for example, pain in the top of the shoulder, pain between the shoulder blades, pain at the base of the neck, that can basically all be fixed by opening your shoulders and having your head over your shoulders. But if everything here is tight, that's really hard. So you could do a stretch for here, do a stretch for here, and do a stretch for between the shoulder blades. That's 3 stretches. Or you can know that doing the chest stretch or doing the side stretch or doing the breathing visualization makes it way easier for you to be in this position, like you automatically go into this position, and then that stops all of those other things from happening. So when you go to the center of the onion of why am I having these pains, you can do the one stretch or exercise that addresses the cause of all the other ones versus having to do a different stretch or exercise for each symptom. So that's the second way that you get 5 to 10 minutes a day. Number 3, you learn how to assess yourself so that you know what to focus on. Now, when clients come to see us, we'll do that in a session. We'll be like, okay, these are your main problems, so these are the things that you need to work on. If you get my course, No Pain at Work, I actually have a formula that I created that you can assess yourself, and you use a formula from that assessment to identify the 2 to 3 things that you should be doing for the next couple of weeks to address those things. The other thing that's really important, I think, for 5 to 10 minutes a day, and this isn't about getting it into 5 minutes a day, but actually making sure you do it, is you want to externalize your memory. And I have another video about that goes into detail. I'll link below, of course. But basically, if you can set things up in your environment so that you don't have to remember, you won't forget to do your self-care. So for a lot of people, they go, okay, I'll do this stuff, but they don't set up reminders out in their environment outside of themselves. And they get to the end of the day and they realize they've totally forgotten. And so that's why when we work with clients or in my course, No Pain at Work, we explain for every single stretch and exercise that we give you how to fit it into your life. So a lot of things are due 2 minutes before you go to bed. So you go to bed and do a stretch while you're in bed, or it's something that you can do for 1 to 2 minutes in the morning to wake up certain muscles that you need to support your body. Or it's a stretch that takes 30 seconds that you can just do in your day. And then you tie it to something. Either you set an alarm or you put a note up somewhere so then when you see it, you can remember, right? And then the people who work with me in one of our VIP packages, we give you like a self-care kit with things that you can use to set that up. So that is very simply how you can set up your self-care to 5 to 10 minutes a day, how it's very, very doable, and how you don't even have to worry about remembering it. If you'd like to start with a very simple shift, I have a desk worker checklist, like a desk posture checklist. So anytime you're sitting at a computer, this explains how you can adjust your desk posture. It's got a little printout you can put up as a reminder, and it's got a 7-minute training. So literally, if you download it within 7 minutes, you can start having better posture. And that goes a huge way towards helping your neck and shoulder pain. And I'll link my course below as well if you'd like to get lifetime access and start working through all of this stuff so that you can have 5 to 10 minutes of self-care a day yourself. Now, let me know, Now that you know how to have 5 to 10 minutes of self-care a day, are you going to be able to fit it into your life? Are you going to start doing some of the stuff that maybe the body worker, massage therapist that you've been seeing is telling you? Or do you have more questions? Has anything popped up as I've been talking about this that you're not really sure how to do it? Definitely let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you know anybody else who struggles with fitting in their self-maintenance, send this video over to them. And if you subscribe to my channel, then you'll be notified as we release more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.